Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Adventures. Last time we had a chit chat with Inspector Hosonaga, who, after, receiving some brutal injuries from the captain, he managed to get us a post-mortem report from Kazuma. And also, we're learning that the person who was guarding the door here into like the first class cabins was kind of not attentive, according to the log, because there's missing entries there. And then right at the very end we learned that apparently like everyone on board, Ryunosuke, Susato, and even the detective Sholmes, they're all having like a throbbing head. Oh yeah, and then Hosonaga too. Yeah, they're all having like a throbbing head. So that's making me think there's some kind of like gas leak or like poison involved somehow. And my current theory right now is that it happens like in the room, like in the cabin that Kazuma was in, and he was like the most exposed to it, and like he was killed by it. And then because Ryunosuke was kind of like knocked out, he was the second closest to like the source, and that's why he was knocked out. That is my working theory anyway. Let's see where we can move from here. Like we only got like a couple locations we can go to. Okay, let's see. We were just in Kazuma's cabin. Let's go back to Miss Pavlova's cabin, so we can discover anything. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling! Oh, what was that? Some kind of siren is going off. Shut down the engines immediately! Vessel sighted a quarter mile 4. Full stop, hard to starboard. All hands, brace for impact. What? What the? I think we're about to crash into another ship. What? I can't stand. Susato-san, hold on to me. Ah! Oh my god, this is insane. Susato-san, are you alright? Are you injured at all? I think I'm fine. Thank you, Naruhodo-san. Jeez, did we crash into the ship? What happened there? Oh, all the books fell over again. It looks like we avoided a collision. I think... Yes, the ship has come to a stop. Oh my goodness! What about you, Naruhodo-san? Are you hurt? No, I'm fine. Hello, is anyone in there? Shout if you need assistance. Oh, that sounds like... It's probably Hosonaga. Yeah, that's what I thought. Inspector Hosonaga. Is that you in there, Naruhodo-san? Unbolt the door, quickly! What? The bolt? Look at that! I knew it! I knew it! When the ship turns like that, the books fall over, and the bolt also slides into place. Didn't like someone specifically say at some point though that that's not possible? The door's bolted. Did you do that, Susato-san? Yeah. No, I didn't touch it. Well, that's strange. How did... And... Look at all the books. They're just like they were before again. I knew it! I knew it! Naruhodo-san, aren't you going to open the door and let the inspector in? I better tidy this place up first. Why? What? Our violent emergency stop has solved one mystery, at least, in a very vivid way. But I knew that what awaited us on the other side of the cabin door would not be pleasant. I hurried around tidying up the cabin with a new sense of foreboding in my heart. Oh, they're gonna think we're doing something suspicious in here. Oh, I was that close to be continued. Oh man, dude. Can't believe it. Well, we are gonna keep going anyway. Let's just save our progress here. Only 4 minutes away. Man, I should have just kept going. Oh well, you can't really predict these things. Alright, we're still on the SS Mira. We're still in her cabin. Somehow, the door to the cabin we were in ended up bolted after we made an emergency stop. Susato-san took a deep breath, then gently slid back the bolt. How many guards are going to be there? Oh yeah. You! What are you doing in Miss Pavlova's quarters? Ah, you both look unhurt. Good. Yes, we're fine, thank you. What on earth happened? We heard something about how we were going to collide with another ship. Yes, it appears to have been a false report, though. Oh, how did that happen? There's a dense fog outside, so it's extremely difficult to see. Someone must have thought he saw a ship ahead. This person obviously triggered the alarm, and that's why we made an emergency stop. Everything is chaos! Passengers are screaming! Crew are running everywhere! This first-class area is the only quiet part of the ship at the moment. Oh, I see. Someone triggered the alarm. Does that mean that someone pressed that button outside?
Oh! You wicked intruder! Dressed all in black! You are the devil!
Sorry, me. I've been called a lot of things before, but devil is a first.
You opened my traveling case! How could you?
What? No, we didn't touch it.
That's right, Miss Pavlova.
It was already open when we came into your cabin.
Inspector!
Yes?
Arrest this man! I know he did it! He's a criminal! Is it not enough that he killed a man?
Duh! And he has a stowaway as well. If Vixen promises not to steal chicken, do you believe?
Take him away. He's a trespasser as well as everything else.
Stowing away, trespassing, killing! She is right. You are devil! It doesn't look good, does it? Yeah, it does not, indeed. There is cell below deck. Throw him in. Why are we not already in the cell? What? How have they just been letting us wander around? Tomorrow, we dock in Hong Kong. Then we'll give you straight to police. Wait, a cell?
Please, Inspector Hosonaga, is there nothing you can do?
This is a Russian vessel. I really have no jurisdiction here. After my last effort to appeal to the captain's good nature, I think I'm out of options. Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything good to come out of him right now.
This is terrible.
This is a real crisis. I've got to find a solution. Immediately! I want to take a look-see around. What? What is, going on here? You want to explain, my friend? What the? What are you doing up there? Mr. Schultz, what are you- What? Excuse me, why do you have that? Mr. Schultz! Naturally, I was analyzing what weights of 20,000 rubies feels like on one's head. Haven't I told you that as a detective, it is my business to know what other people do not? This isn't mere tomfoolery, my boy. Oh, no. Well, why were you hanging from that hook before then? Isn't it obvious? To properly assess the weight of the 20,000 rubies, naturally. I wish to determine if it would bend that conceited-looking hook on the wall, so full of brag and bounce. I never know whether to take this man seriously or not. You again, the great detective. Inspector. I confess, I've been looking for you. I have something to report to you most urgently. Well, you might try looking for me somewhere other than a hook on the wall next time. What is your report? Speak! An urgent report from a great detective can mean but one thing. Yes. The case of the curious murder that took place last night here on this vessel, the Steamship Bureau, has been solved! By me, naturally. What? Really? Yes, I have eliminated all other possibilities. No other explanations exist. Oh, I bet we're gonna have to go through this deduction thing again, aren't we? But if I had to take a guess, he probably saw... was he in here with us, or did he come in with the other guys? If so, he might know about the door bolting itself. Yeah. So allow me to illuminate all your minds. For I'm about to reveal my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. That's a bit of a redundancy there. Ha! You have solved it! Even a hedgehog understands this case. We all know who was responsible for killing Student Boy this morning when we found criminal in the wardrobe. It is a stowaway, and he has handcuffs to prove it. That doesn't make any sense, dude. You can't just put someone in handcuffs and say, oh yeah, they did it because they have the handcuffs on. You dumb. I didn't do it! The trouble is, there doesn't appear to be anyone else who could have killed the victim. Because, as everyone knows, the cabin door was bolted shut from the inside. Alright, well, let's bring this up. That means the culprit must have been someone who was inside the cabin. Yes, it's what's called a locked room mystery in detective stories. Duh! Locked room! That is point!
The room was locked.
Well, I can't deny that. There's no way the bolt could have been drawn across from outside the cabin. You're all quite mistaken. The cabin next door is not a so-called locked room at all. What? Oh yes, there's another entrance. An entrance used last night by the culprits in order to gain access to the cabin despite the bolted door. What other entrance? We never discovered one. Why, it gapes open-mouthed at you even as we speak. It's probably the air vent. The ventilator, man! The ventilator? Yeah, ha 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 ha! You think this is funny? I cannot even put my arm through that hole. That's because your arms are as thick as tree trunks. You're suggesting that the culprit entered and left the victim's cabin through that tiny opening? It's not possible. Ah, but it is. And last night, the victim even witnessed the intruder in the act of passing through the ventilator. Mr. Sholmes, do you mean... Are you referring to the words Kazuma-sama wrote in his diary? 1:23 a.m., I can hear a faint whistling sound. 1:35 a.m., what looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Maybe the whistling is like the sound of gas escaping. Precisely, my dear madame. But what does it mean? What is this speckled band? The answer to that particular conundrum is in this very cabin. Oh, he's throwing up his fists again. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? There's a distinct element of danger, but fear not, I am ready. Well, what I'm about to expose for y'all to see will shock you to your cores. Behold! Kia! Ah! What the? What? A snake? Is that her pet that she had? Allow me to introduce you all to the band. The speckled band. A snake? Indubitably. Is that really her pet? She had a pet snake with her this whole time? And why is this dude acting like nothing's on his face right now, dude? I would be freaking out. Mr. Sholmes, just one thing. Ray, what troubles you? Well, that snake isn't really speckled, is it? It looks more stripy, wouldn't you say? Yes, you're right. I think in this case, you'd have to call it a stripy band. The striped band, wouldn't you? Also, where did that snake come from? Did he just, like, pull that out from somewhere? You both see and observe with distinction, however. Do you not think that this is precisely the trap into which the culprit wishes you to fall? Oh my goodness, really? It's a trap? How exactly? I think perhaps it is time I explain the intricacies of my train of thought. Are you ready, Miss Pavlova? I'm sorry for the young man who died, but that is all. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me. I can't do her voice very consistently, although I can't really tell if my voices are very distinct at all between each other, you know? There are two conclusions I've drawn from the facts. Number one,
Last night, your friend infiltrated the victim's cabin. And number 2, that same friend was responsible for the victim losing his life. No. She's turned as white as a bowl of rice again. Sholmes must be right. He's hit the nail on the head. This young woman's friend killed Mr. Asoji? Can he not speak with that on? It looks like he can't speak with that snake coiled around his head. Seriously, why is no one pulling it off, then? I would advise as little movement as possible, seamen. You wouldn't want the fangs of that long friend in your neck. So everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Okay, here we go. Let's do it. I like this. The game is afoot. Topic 1. Intruder's identity. Miss Pavlova, moments ago, you claimed the following. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. What the heck does that mean? And is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death? So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. Oh. That word was bolded, so maybe it's not her friend. Maybe she has another pet. Or this is not her pet at all. This is completely unrelated, and that's just a wild snake that's just loose aboard the ship. Who knows? And yet, that fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band. Dude, that snake wants to kill 2 people at once, it looks like. Whereas, regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we then give, pray? What was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night? No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Yes, that which you are trying but failing to conceal can only be the snake's sloughed skin. Oh, that's snake skin she's holding. Evidently, after the subtle and horrible crime, this most deadly friend of yours shed its original skin, no? I don't know what you're talking about. Last night, through the ventilator visible in this cabin, your then speckled friend slithered next door. Using the bell cord on the other side as a bridge, the serpent silently descended into the victim's quarters. In the dim light, it appeared to the young gentleman who was about to lose his life as a speckled band. In summary, the nature of this friend of yours, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a rare breed of snake whose markings change each time it sloughs its skin. Is sloughs the right word? Is that how you say that? Hang on. Slows? Hang on. I think it's slew, actually, yeah. It's a rare breed of snake whose markings change each time it sloughs its skin. A snake so dreadful, we can only imagine it would be found in the deepest depths of India. And that's only topic 1. I'm also looking at Google. It says slough is also a pronunciation, too. Interesting. Moving on. We come to the heart of the matter. The grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data of which I've been apprised, it would appear that there were no visible signs of injury. Ah! So maybe he was strangled to death by the snake. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death could only be explained by its terrible venom. Now, we take this as fact. We can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime. Oh no, could there be? Yes, an examination of the deceased's body will prove the cause of death conclusively. The almost, but not quite, imperceptible puncture wounds left by the venomous fangs will seal the truth. Yes, the vestiges of the snakebite delivered by your terrifying friend. This makes no sense. There's no point feigning ignorance, Miss Pavlova. After the incident, you endeavored to hide everything, didn't you? But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right. You hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that traveling case. When we first met in this cabin, it came to my attention that your case moved periodically. Your serpent assassin was restless inside, no doubt. You don't. It is telling that the victim made note of a low whistling sound that he heard minutes before his end. That was your signal, was it not? The sound you had used to train your serpent friend. But why would she want to kill him? To train? Indeed. You put the serpent through this ventilator and wait. After a period, you summon it back with a whistle. You couldn't know if the animal had done its duty, so you would listen for the signs of life next door. The victim appeared not to have been dispatched. You'd release the snake once more. Do you deny this snake has undergone such training? It's not true. Having slithered through the ventilator and down the bell cord, the creature needed only to sink its fangs in once. And its venom would course through the victim's veins, ending his existence forever. That is the true nature of the speckled band that took the poor young man's life. There can be no doubt. My logic is infallible. Conclusion. Death by a venomous snake's bites. Alright. Let's pick that apart, shall we? Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of the speckled band. See, why is the snake so chill? Like, I don't... Something tells me the snake is probably harmless, if I had to take a guess. Miss Pavlova has trained her pet snake as a killing machine. There on the floor, you'll observe a saucer of milk. The promise of food is the key to training any creature. Incredible! You've solved the mystery! Amazing! Your great deduction really lives up to its name. Hang on, who said that before? Oh, Ryunosuke said that. Do you know? No, you can't believe this. I see now why Herlock Sholmes has become such a household name. My dear man, it was nothing remarkable. As the Russians say, I could have done it with one left hand. Could I venture an opinion, Mr. Sholmes? But of course, what's on your mind? It's just about your deductions before. Some things don't quite make sense to me. I welcome questions as to my method, and I will answer both loudly and proudly. Oh, well, good. First of all, snakes are egg-laying creatures, part of the reptile family. You are well informed, madame. Oh yeah, snakes don't drink milk. Milk is unrelated to this. And reptiles, don't drink milk. Ah! It's really only mammals that like to drink milk, you see? So, I'm not sure it would be possible to train a snake using milk as a reward. No matter. No doubt Miss Pavlova used some other treat to encourage her pet to do her bidding. Milk was merely an example. The logic holds. Well, there is something else. Snakes have no ears. Ah. Yes, so I'm not sure it would really be possible to signal to a snake by whistling. But madame, what are the tales from Arabia? Have you not heard of the snakes that dance to the sounds of a flute? I think perhaps the performers play their music in time with the snake's natural movements. Is that really the case? Do snakes not have like a sense of hearing? Wait, is that true? That'd be really interesting if that's the case. Oh, I see. No hands, no feet, no ears! These creatures are so inept as to be practically useless. Wow, he looks so upset by that. Don't take it out on the snakes, Mr. Sholmes. There's one other thing. You have more? Snakes use, the scales on their bellies to propel themselves. So, I'm not really sure that a snake can manage to climb up a flat bell cord like the ones in these cabins. Then it should try harder! Please don't be angry with me, Mr. Sholmes. The point is, even if the snake had gone through the ventilator to the next door cabin, it couldn't have come back without help. What I'm trying to say is that there are a number of reasons why it's difficult to imagine the snake could have had a part in this. Wow, he looks so defeated from that. He's just so misinformed about snakes. I think we need to step in and help again, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh no, you don't mean... Yes, we need to modify Mr. Sholmes' latest deductions and turn them into the great ones they ought to be. I had a feeling that was coming. That was also a really long silence. Oh, hang on. Yeah, there's so many ellipses there. I was wondering when someone's going to begin speaking again. Alright, let's give it a try. Just what I was waiting for. Mr. Naruhodo! Yes, right! Take the cuffs off me. So cast your eyes down to your wrists again. What? Seriously, how does he do that? You've done it again! Your handcuffs are gone. Where did they go? Fear not. I shall see they're restored after our work is done. I really wish you'd leave them off. Now, everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. I feel like we gotta be, like, somewhat close to the end here. I don't know. Oh, shoot, I didn't want to advance that. Hang on. Yeah, his death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me. I've reread all this before. You cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. She does have a pained expression on her face. Yes, that's true. She looks as though Kazuma-sama's death is weighing heavily on her mind. But you're not sure Mr. Sholmes has read her quite correctly, is that right? Could there be some other way to interpret her expression, then? Let's take a moment. And really look very closely, Miss Pavlova. Okay, so there's several things to look at here. Oh. Okay, well, I'm glad I
Rotated that. Can I, like, look at the snake? Aw. Okay, well, clearly it's this. I don't know, I'm looking at the time here. I think... I feel like we're gotta be really close to the end. I don't know. I think, okay, here's what I'm gonna do, guys. I think I'm gonna call the episode here for today. I feel like maybe we still got another, at least 30 minutes left in the case. So yeah, this is a really big cliffhanger, I know, but I don't want the episode to run on too long, you know? So I hope you guys enjoyed. Next time, we will definitely continue here with the corrections here of Herlock Sholmes. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye!